Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Joffrey Noodle Eggs here. Today we have another noodle film review. Today we're looking at Thai West film X. This is a recent horror film, but it's supposed to make it look like it's been filmed in 1979. So it's like it seems to be the quite hip thing at the moment to try and make movies look like they're from the 70s and 80s. And this one is no different. And it's a very cliche sort of storyline. We see these two sort of girls that are sort of like I don't know if they're actresses or they're just porn stars or whatever, but they're off with a group of three guys and another girl to make a porn movie. I think they live in Houston, Texas, and so that they're off out to make a porn film called The Farmer's Daughter, I believe. So they're driving out to the country because the guy that's making the film has made a deal at a farm to where they got like an old sort of like sort of shack that they can use to make this film. But the people that they rented the farm from don't know that they're there to make a film. Anyway, they're on a road trip out there, so we see lots of sort of visuals of Texas. It's very, very Chainsaw Massacre-like film. So we see a lot of footage of people that are non-city folk, if you like, and they seem to be quite alienated from the general sort of public. And there's also been like a car accident on the road where in Texas Chainsaw Massacre you see a dead armadillo. In this one you see a dead cow who's been splattered over the road because been hit by a big truck. So there's sort of similarities that all through the film, including the photography. A lot of the photography is very similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where it's all long shots and sort of like quite slow shots, so they stay on the subject for quite a while. This crew arrive at this farm eventually after stopping off at a local shop and stuff like that. And the young guy and the girl that are not a part of the film, he's trying to make the film a bit more arty for a porn film, not to try and make it an out-and-out porn film. Whereas one girl, the blonde one, doesn't care what it's like. She just wants to be in it. And the other girl, she's supposed to be the girlfriend of the film producer. I think her name's Pearl, if I'm not wrong. I think she's Pearl from the prequel. They arrive at this farm. And it is very, very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again, it's the White House in the middle of nowhere. And you just think, as soon as they arrive, you just think, yep, bad things are going to happen. This is in the middle of nowhere. No one's going to hear them. Nothing's going to be done to help them or anything like that. And the film guide approaches the house, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of sort of like movement there. Eventually you hear a voice saying, "Who's that?" And he says, "Oh, I've come here, I spoke to you on the phone." And then this old man arrives at the door with like a shotgun. He says, "You're trespassing, you know, I'm in every right to shoot you right now." In the first sort of sex scene. the blonde girl and the black dude. She goes wandering off to this lake, and she sort of like strips naked and jumps in and does some skinny dipping in the lake. But there's like an alligator swimming around the lake, and she just barely gets out without actually being attacked by it. But before she gets in there, she's being watched by an old woman. This is the wife of the old man that's in the house. So she goes swimming and eventually heads her way back to the shack where the others are still doing their filming, and the girlfriend of the other guy that's making the film, she's not doesn't really want to be there. She's just, you can see she's well out of place. She doesn't want to be there. She didn't really realise this was going to be a porn sort of film. But anyway, our girl rides back and she looks over at the main house and she sees the old woman standing outside and who waves her over. And so she goes over to the house, and the old woman, she goes in the house, the girl, and then sort of like the woman turns up behind her, says, "Lemonade," and she makes her a glass of lemonade. And she's really, really strange, this old woman. She just starts talking to her about how she was young once, and that she starts trying to touch her, and it really freaks the girl out. And then the old man arrives back because he's been out, I think probably down to the store for some shopping. He arrives back, so she has to sort of sneak out and head her way back over to the shack where the rest are. And then it's her turn to do the sex scenes on the film. So that's how the film sort of plays out. But there's something not right about this old couple. Think of the weird family of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're going to be pretty close to what this old couple are like in this film. Because that's all I'm going to tell you. This film is a sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre tribute film, if you like. It is the same premise of all those sort of films. A group of teens go to this farm. They renting this place out, and the farm's run by two demented old people, and it turns into a very cool horror film, and that's what I think of it. I think X is really cool. It's a cool little film. I was very reluctant to buy it and watch it because I've heard so many people say, "No, yeah, it's so much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre," and I'm thinking, why do that? We've got that. Why? But it is very much like it. But then again, it has its own sort of like its own sort of space in that sort of market, and it's done really well. I quite enjoyed the film. The pluses of it, it looks really nice. They have kept a little bit of grain in the film to try and make it look like an old film, and the colours are sort of a sort of blurred, vibrant colour to again make it look like it's the 1970s, and that's really cool. The cast are okay, not the best acting I've seen or anything like that. It's okay that you don't really get to really appreciate any of the characters, and you're thinking, I hope this one pulls through. I hope this one don't die. I don't care. Any of them could die. That's fine. Because I had no attachment to any of them. But that's kind of a negative as well as a positive. So it's cool, and the old couple are really cool. They're probably the best part of the film. And there is some the gore in the film, which is really quite cool. It is the minuses. I don't like the porn story. It's just not my sort of thing. I just think, oh, why can't you just be there making a movie? Why has it got to be a porn thing? That's the only thing that sort of I didn't really like about it. But there we are. But apart from that, it was a cool film. So I'm going to score the X a great watch, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, which I think is very kind. I was thinking more of a 7, but no, because I did enjoy it, I had a good time watching it, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. There is a prequel to it called Pearl. I've not seen yet. I believe it's soon getting a release here in the UK. I might pick it up at some point if I can get it at a reasonable price. X, 8 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below what you thought of it. I really enjoyed it, but I just think it was too close to Texas Chainsaw Massacre to really find its individual sort of place in the horror sort of genre. I'm thinking, yeah, it's cool, but you're using so many stereotypes of films before that it's almost like a remake, if you like. And sort of things like that are just sort of threw me off a little bit, and I'm just thinking, yeah, it's not as good as I've wanted it to be, but I had a cool time watching it, and I hope if you've seen it, you had a cool time. But I know a lot of people really liked it, and I can see why. I can see why. If you love Texas Chainsaw Massacre and you think, I wish there were more films like that, this is the one for you. Me, I'm not like that. I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I love films like The Witch, but I don't want another Witch. I don't want another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if you like. So it's like that for me. So I'm a little bit different. I don't like to have repetitive stuff. If I've seen something, I like to see something different, unless it's a follow-on film, like a second film and a third film, sequels. You know, that's different. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, cool, good little film. Really enjoyed it, guys. Till my next video, check out some horror channels for me. Check out Horror Hands, Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Designs, Pizzlewell, I'm the Ice Lord, Sarah of Horror, Cat Watches Horror Movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House, and a massive shout out to my horror loving lad, Lemon Lord. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I see you all soon.